Hi Queens, welcome to the Queen Esther YouTube channel. My name is Eliana Esther. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so excited to walk on this journey with you. Today, we're going to be talking about friendship breakups. How do I maintain my poise and elegance in the midst of a friendship breakup? Should I remain loyal or should I talk? I mean, if they're talking, two can play that game, right?
The Queen Esther.
Well, let's go ahead and get started. But before we get started, please hit the subscribe button, support my YouTube channel so that we can grow it. But yeah, let's start the topic, shall we? I will be jotting things down on the screen for you to see the topics of discussions. And I'm also going to be looking down on my screen. Now, before I get into the topic, I want to explain to you why I named this channel the Queen Esther YouTube channel. I am mesmerized by Queen Esther. There was something about the way she carried herself. It spoke so highly of her to the point that she would walk in a room and she didn't have to say much. But her presence, her aura, her energy, it spoke for her. A lot of people, when they read the story of Esther, they don't actually realize that the king had so many other concubines that he would see each and every other night. But what set Esther apart was not her beauty. The word of God does not tell us that she was a beautiful woman. It doesn't tell us that her eyes were striking to look at, or she had a petite nose and there was something about her voice. No, it tells us that Esther had an anointing to her. She was chosen for her people because of how she carried herself. You don't have to be beautiful to carry yourself a specific way. You just have to have a certain energy about you that speaks on your behalf. And as a woman, I believe that when we go through friendship breakups, we need to have a certain aura, a certain energy towards ourselves that we carry, that speaks and tells our story without us even having to speak it out. Today's affirmation: my aura speaks for me. Every room I walk into, my energy speaks before I do. That's exactly how you will maintain your poise when you go through a friendship breakup. Your energy. Let it speak for you. Queen Esther's energy spoke for her. When she wanted to sit with the king and make a decree that would change the trajectory of her people, it was not her words that spoke for her. It was her energy that spoke for her. And as a result, thousands and thousands of people were saved just because of how she carried herself. The first thing I want to discuss is why friendship breakups happen. Well, number one, friendship breakups can happen because you're outgrowing your friends, or God might be steering you into different directions. This might be because He wants you to meet people that are going to take you to a higher level or a better place than where you are right now. And so He knows that that won't happen if you continue to be in the midst of the people that you're currently around. The book of Proverbs says that bad company corrupts good morals. Friendship breakups don't always happen because the person that you're friends with has bad character developments or they have bad morals. Sometimes they happen because their mindsets are so limited to the point that if you continue to surround yourself with them, you're going to develop the same mindset. So God will steer you into a different direction because He sees that if I allow her to remain in the presence of these people, she's going to have a limited mindset where she won't believe that she can become anything in life. She won't believe that she's going to be a millionaire. She won't believe that she's going to meet her husband this year because the people that she's hanging around with act so single that they never want to be married. They act so single that they never want to have children. They act so single and limited in their mindsets that they can never become great in life. And so friendships breakup may happen because God is just steering you into a different direction so that you can become a better version of yourself. The second reason that friendship breakups may happen is because you guys have a different calling. A lot of times people don't realize that people only come into our lives for seasons. And if you're lucky, you'll have maybe one or two friends that will come into your life to stay for life. And this is very rare. We see it in the friendships of Beyonce and Kelly Rowland, right? They've maintained a great friendship that has stayed because they carry a similar destiny. You can see that they are in the same industry. They're dealing with the same problems or similar problems. And so things like this, where you have a friendship or you're fortunate and lucky enough to have a friend that stays for life, is when you have met at a point where God is steering you both to the same destiny. If a friendship is breaking up, it's either you guys both have different callings and God is steering you to a different direction so he can level you up to become the best level of yourself before you get to that point. And two, you guys are not called into the same areas of your life and you were just in each other's life in that season for a reason, whether that reason was maybe you just have not experienced the love and that friendship was able to show you that you can have love in a friendship. Sometimes that person may have even just been in your life for that season because you may have been their assignment or they might have been your assignment. A lot of Christian women forget that we have callings, we have assignments, and part of that is that we're going to have people in our lives that we're meant to help in that season. So it's good to analyze the friendship and go, wait, is this person here for an assignment or are they here to teach me a lesson or to stay for good? When you analyze these things, it's definitely going to help you. The third reason why friendship breakups may happen is because there has been a fallout. That may happen due to a disagreement. Maybe this person disrespected you in a way that they shouldn't have, and as a result, you guys just fell out and there's just chaos. I want you to know that with every fallout, there's a positive thing to take from it. Sometimes fallouts happen so that we can learn something from it. We might fall out with a friend because they misunderstood us, but it doesn't mean that they are bad or that this friendship was never meant to happen. It just means maybe I should use my discernment more because I knew who they were before I befriended them. I knew that they had a smart mouth. I knew that they swore a lot. I knew that they are prone to stealing people's men. And so that is something that you can learn from a fallout. For whatever reason as to why that friendship has ended, there is something to learn from it. Because when you have friendship fallouts, they really teach you how to better associate with a better group of people. An example of this is when you have a friend that you've only known, let's say 5 months, 6 months, 2 years, and you have a fallout because they misunderstood or took your words the wrong way. This teaches you that in the next class of people that you become friends with, I'm going to learn by the patterns of these people's behaviors how to better socialize and how to better read people. So friendship fallouts are not always bad because they teach you how to read fake people, they teach you how to read real people, and they just overall teach you how to engage with society in a better light. So now let's move on to point number 2. So you had a friendship breakout. Maybe it was recent, maybe it was a year ago, and you've been feeling the need that you really miss this person. You want to go back, but you just don't know if you should. You don't know how you should do it. Or maybe you had a friendship breakout and now you're just all alone because you feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have any friends. I'm by myself now. Should I go back to this person? I don't know what to do, yada, 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 yada. So we're going to talk about the main points under this and what you should do when you're feeling this way. If you've just had a friendship breakout recently, I want you to ask yourself this question first. Before you go back to this person or before you reach out to this person or before you even start reminiscing about the good old times, I want you to think about these main points. First, I want you to analyze why the friendship breakup happened. Okay? I want you to think what really was the main reason as to why this situation happened between me and my friend. And if I go back, is that something that's prone to happen again? And if it does happen again, are they willing to change? Or is it just going to be the same cycle that's repeating itself in different forms over and over again? Human beings, when we get used to something, it's very hard for us to realize that we can get something different, right? There's a study that says women who have gone through traumatic experiences with their partner, I'm not saying that friendship breakups are similar to having a spouse or having a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but when we go through these kind of things, we can also go through similar stages. And so there's a study that says that when a woman goes through a traumatic experience with their partner, it takes up to the 7th time for them to actually get out. So they will try the first time, it won't, they will feel like they can't leave this person. Third time, they can't leave. And it isn't until the 7th time that they are able to break free. And it's not everybody that breaks free. It takes time Because during the stages of this person trying to break free, they're going to have moments where they miss the good things, the good moments in that relationship, right? So I want you to think, if I go back to this friendship, is this person going to change, or is it going to be the same cycle? Because whether you realize it or not, when we get used to something as human beings, we never want to leave. We just feel so comfortable. I'm already used to this person. I know how to read them. And it's so scary going out there into the world and I meet new people. I don't know how to read them. I don't know what their reactions mean. But at least with this friend that I've known for 2 years, for 5 months, I already know what yes means to them. I already know how their anger manifests or their sadness manifests. We get used to the little good things that it's like, oh, I don't see the point of me leaving. But also ask yourself, if it's going to be the same thing that happens over and over again, is it worth sacrificing my peace? So the point number 2, if you're feeling like you need to go back to this person or you feel lonely, you need to first recognize the benefits of you not going back, okay? I want you to imagine a scale, right? Over here, these are the benefits of the good things that I will benefit from this friendship if I go back. These are the good things that I will benefit from not going back. If the scale is higher here and you feel like if I don't go back, I will experience a new world where I don't have to put up with this behavior anymore, then that means you shouldn't go back. That means it's not worth it. One thing I like to believe in is that every friendship that ends, there's a reason to that ending. And it's never good to go back to anything that ends, because if it was truly meant to be, then it shouldn't have ended. There would have been another way of the situation happening or the fallout happening that would have brought you guys back together. And I'm speaking that from experience of having friendships that have lasted me over 12 years, 13 years. You know, 2 of my good friends, one of her I've known for over 17 years. The other I've known her for over 12 years. And we have had our own fallouts, but the scale always outweighs the other. There's always something that pulls us back into each other's lives, and that is because the benefits of us staying in each other's life outweighs the fallout. So I want you to consider these things. Most of the times when we experience friendship breakouts, we always think that we're never going to find the next big thing. But actually, and I heard this from someone, they said that when you're in your 20s, you always feel like you found the people that you belong with. You always feel like you have found your crew, but it isn't until you've had children. It isn't until you found your dream job. It isn't until you've bought your dream car or you've moved into your dream house that you then start to find the people that are supposed to be in your life. And this is because adulting does not happen until the major things happen. When you're in your 20s, for example, the friendships that we have are not based off of our truest self, because our truest self, it revolves around all these things: our car, our house. Our personality trait develops as a result of the tangible things that we have in life, right? But in your 20s, you develop friendships based off of common interest. Oh, this person likes music like this. I like them. They're meant to be in my life. This person is into these kind of celebrities. Okay, baddie, me too. I like this kind of celebrities. We're meant to be in each other's lives. But if that's the only thing that connects you to this person, are they really supposed to be your friend? Because they don't really know the full version of yourself until they have experienced you in your down, depressed self to a point where they are there for you, not so that you can be there for them back, but because they see you as a valuable human being whose energy is just unmatched and who has something to offer them other than clubbing and partying and drinking together or someone to kill time with. So remember, your truest friendship has not yet happened until you've either had children, you've had a really bad major breakup with someone and they were there in the lifelong of that relationship, until you've bought a house or you've relocated. These things test friendships out, and that is why I'm saying that a real friendship has not entirely happened until you've experienced these major things in your life. And so when a friendship breakup happens, we always think that it's the end because, oh my God, I've just lost this person. But have you really? You've not even really experienced a third of your life. Let's say you're 22 years old and you've known someone for 5 years, right? You still have 30 years of your life to live. Now you've had this friendship breakup and you're thinking that at 22, this is the worst thing I've gone through, but you're not thinking about the 30 years that are ahead of you, the changes that are going to take place, and the people that are going to come into your life whilst these changes are happening. So you should consider, is it worth having this friendship? If I haven't truly experienced everything yet, is it worth staying in this friendship if it's going to stagnate me meeting other people in these other areas of things happening to me? That's going to help you make your decision as to whether you should call this person back or you should go back to this friendship. The other thing that I want you to also think about is, if I go back to this person, is it going to stop me from becoming the best version of myself? Sometimes we become friends with people because we like drinking with them, or we become friendships with people because we like to party with them. But we don't realize that these little habits are actually going to stop us from reaching our destiny. If you're called to be a millionaire, right? If gold has blessed you with millions of dollars and you've not gone there yet, and you have friendships where you're constantly drinking, you don't realize it yet, but you're getting used to this behavior so much that this friendship is stopping you from meeting people that are going to help you become a millionaire. So ask yourself, if I go back to this friendship, is it going to stop me from becoming the best version of myself and meeting the best people that are going to help me become that to which I am supposed to become? And if the answer is yes, they're going to stop me, then I think these people are not meant to be in your life, because they're stagnating you from literally becoming the baddest person that you can become, your baddest and truest self. The third point I want to exaggerate under this topic, I want you to look back. I want you to reflect. I want you to meditate. I want you to think about the moments, the good, the bad. And I want you to really, really concentrate. And my truest self would tell you, don't go back. Even after you've concentrated, you've simmered everything in, don't go back. Look back, meditate, and concentrate on these friendships, highlights, and look back and say, I am grateful that I was able to experience this friendship because I took from it. I learned from it. But my trust self would advise you that after you've done this, become grateful, learn from it, and look on a positive note from it, but don't go back. But if you do feel the need to go back, and after you've looked back, then I want you to consider these things. Is this person going to evolve with me after I go back? When I then evolve into a better version of myself, are they going to evolve with me? Or do they have a mindset that's going to allow them to stay back? You see, I believe that people, we don't change. You could be the most bubbliest person and loudest person, and people are telling you that you're always loud. They constantly tell you that you're loud. And you could try to be quiet for maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, but that loud will always be there. It just manifests itself in a different way, and you can only evolve and use it for good in a different light, right? I don't believe that we change, but I do believe that we evolve from that to which we are. I want you to think of caterpillars. Caterpillars become butterflies. They turn into something different. But do they ever stop becoming caterpillars? No, they only stopped crawling, but they're still flying as caterpillars. It's just that now they've evolved. They have wings. They look better. But they are still caterpillars, just in a different form. People are like that. We do not change, but we can evolve and look different and sound different, but we're still the same people. You get it? All right. Moving on to the next point. I want to talk about gossip here. I want to talk about people tarnishing your name. You were friends with this person or these people, and now they're dragging your name through the mud. They're tarnishing it. They are finding anybody that knows you and anybody that has the potential to see you in a good light, and they are trying to drag you down the mud to just poison your name so bad that it's going to make you look like the worst person out there. This is how you're going to carry yourself with poise, like a true queen, Queen Esther rather, and let your elegance, femininity, your energy speak for you. Let's talk about it. The first thing I want you to understand about people like this who are friends with you, the first thing, and the next thing you guys have a fallout and they're gossiping about you, I want you to first understand that even though you were a friend to them, these people were never your friends. Because if they truly were your friends, they would take what happened in that friendship and they would cherish it so much, truly, that if people ask them about you, they would respect you to a point where they're not going to speak on your name. They might tell their side of the story, but they're not going to tarnish your name. You see, there's a way to speak about someone and speak about your truth without destroying another person's character. So I want you to know that if you've ever been friends with someone and they have gone out there, they've tarnished your name, they've gossiped about you, they've said everything that they can to make themselves look good, this is not only a form of narcissism, but these are people that are not good for you. And they never wanted well for you when they were in that friendship. They were either jealous of you, and that is why now they're gossiping about you, because then now they feel a release. They're like, oh, finally, I'm done with this person. I can finally express how I feel. And, you start seeing all the little characters that you were not able to see in the friendship manifest themselves. And one thing that manifests itself is jealousy, and that manifests through gossip. If you've ever had a friendship breakout and they gossip about you, these were never your friends to begin with. These were just enemies in your midst. So yeah, I want you to recognize this, take it in, and validate yourself. If they're saying that you are a liar, wake up in the morning, speak to yourself and say, I'm a good person. And, start speaking great affirmations over your life. If they gossip about you, one, it's because they want to feel validated as to what they did to you in the friendship. People will gossip about you because they want other people that don't know you to validate them because they don't know your side of the story. So keep that in mind and recognize it. The second point I want you to understand as well about gossiping, should you join in or should you just allow them to keep on speaking? If you are a Christian or a spiritual person, I want you to recognize that gossip is demonic, okay? There was somebody that shared an encounter they had, right? They had an out-of-body experience, and they were talking about how they saw people gossiping about each other. They had seen a friend gossiping about another friend, and they saw like demons behind each person as they were gossiping. And as this person is gossiping, right, they would be spilling out vomit that's coming from their mouth, and then the demons that are influencing them to do these things would then take that vomit and drink it, and it would give them fuel to continue their evil influence towards that person. So I want you to understand that gossip is actually demonic. The other thing I want you to know as well about gossip, but it's actually a way to cast spells on people. If you have ever been as unlucky as myself to be around witches a lot, I've been around witches a lot to know this, that they use gossip to basically ruin someone's life and take someone's blessings, because they know that if I gossip about this person, I'm not only casting a spell, because one, I'm changing people's minds to believe this thing about this person, and as they believe this thing about this person, they'll start to have thoughts about what I'm saying about this person, and these thoughts are going to manifest themselves. Why? Because thoughts are powerful. When you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself, I know I hate my job, but I'm going to have a great day today. And sometimes it works. Why? Because thoughts are so powerful that they manifest in our everyday life. So I want you to remember, gossip is not only demonic, it is also a way of casting spells on people. And it is the fastest way to cast a spell on people because it always works. So I don't want you to join in. I want you to maintain your poise by keeping quiet. The Bible says, be as wise as a snake, but as gentle as a dove. People look upon snakes and think, snakes are so evil. Even if you look at the great media today, they use snakes to elaborate like a Jezebel woman. But there's something about snakes that is so wise, right? If you look into the book of Genesis and how Eve was able to talk about what God had told her and her husband, the snake never told her anything. She exposed the truth to the snake because the snake was so wise that it found out all the information by asking questions. So when the word of God says, be wise as a snake, it's a way for us to look at it and say, okay, I'm going to maintain myself by just observing what is happening right now. Know when to speak, know when to be quiet, be as gentle as a dove. Know when to just be quiet, listen, because there are seasons where God will take you through that friendship where he wants you to just observe like a dove. You're just there. Your presence is experienced and it's just there, but you're observing what's going on. And then there are moments where he will want you to act like a snake and literally know when to bite, know when to slither away, walk away, and know when to bite. Tell your truth. Because like I said, gossip is a way to cast spells. So when people are gossiping and tarnishing your name, there's also a time that comes where you have to bite and slither away, okay? And then there are seasons where you just have to be a dove, gentle, quiet, Let them expose themselves all on their own. So yeah, I hope that this will help you move on. Point number 3 is I want you to be the bigger person, right? When you think about a queen, when people are talking bad about her, she doesn't come out into the media and says, this is what's happening, this is what's happening. She maintains her poise by remaining quiet. It shows that you're not only the bigger person, you are the better person, because you're not trying to make it louder. You're trying to simmer down the noise. You're trying to quieten down what's going on. And also, I want you to remember that what goes around comes around. Baby, karma is real, and it's going to happen to them. What they've done to you is going to come back in the end. And their friends are going to realize that you didn't speak about your part of the story, but I see where you might have been coming from. This is my belief about friendships and truly how to maintain your poise like Queen Esther. Okay? If I was ever friends with you, and if we've ever had a fallout, the secrets that you told me, the little moments that we had where you came to me and you cried and you told me all these things, as soon as we have a fallout, they're going to have a fallout too. I'm going to dig a grave and I'm going to put that friendship and those loyal situations that we shared together, and I'm going to put it to the grave, and it ends there. After the friendship breakup happens, you won't hear me talking about, I did this for this person, I did that for this person, and then they said this, and then they said that. A true queen, when she has real friends, and they may not have considered you a real friend, but you have considered them a real friend, you're not going to take their name and tarnish it like they are doing to you. You're going to take everything that you had with them, the secrets, the private conversations, and everything you did together, and you're going to tuck it away. Lift your head up and walk with elegance. Okay? Also, your loyalty does not have to remain. It ends there. So if something happens and one day they call you out of the blue after they've tarnished your name and did you dirty, it doesn't mean that you have to pick up the phone and go, yeah, I got you. We used to be friends. So I loved you once upon a time, and I'm going to be loyal to you and help you in these situations. Baby, hang that phone up. Look after yourself. Your loyalty has to end there, because their loyalty to you is not going to continue to keep on going. Maintain your poise and elegance and great energy by keeping everything tucked away into the grave and just move on. I want you to be at a point in your life where you respect your friendship and you don't go around doing what this person has done to you. This is how you're going to do this. You're going to do this by not judging this person. So you have to remember, you once loved this person. You once respected that person. Even if you no longer respect them right now, respect the friendship that you had to a point that you are going to just let them go in peace, let them go in love, because you respect that friendship. You may no longer respect what they stand for, but you respect what you had, because what you had in that friendship, your energy played a part in it. If you have a friend and you guys understood each other in a way that you've never been able to understand another person, that understanding was not only on their part, but your energy played a part in that. Sometimes we don't realize that we have great things in life because our energy brought that greatness into that thing. So you need to respect your energy by letting it go in peace. If you don't let it go in peace, then it just speaks a great volume. And that is, you don't respect yourself enough to respect what you brought to the table in that friendship. That is my last point. Respect that friendship by respecting your energy. Because when you respect your energy, you realize how great of a part it played in that friendship. Last but not least, because we are going to talk about friendships in later videos to come, this is what I want you to do as the final stage of your friendship breakup. Are you listening? Okay, let's talk about it. After you've broken up with a friend, maybe they are your only friend, and now you don't know what to do. I want you to find ways to discover yourself. Ask yourself, who was I before this friendship? How can I find myself again? And then after this happens, I want you to learn how to spend time with yourself, human beings, we spend so much time at work and around other people that the day might even end with us watching TV, or it might even end with us scrolling online, that we just neglect ourselves so much we don't even spend time with ourselves to get to know who we truly are. So I want you to find yourself by doing little things. And I'm going to give you examples of things that I have done that have allowed me to find myself and to love myself in the midst of a friendship breakup or after a friendship breakup. So, number one, remember you attract what you are. Who I am is going to lead me to who is good for me. Who I am right now is going to lead to who I become. Because remember, human beings, we don't change. We what? We evolve. So who you are, you're going to evolve into. If you are a woman who is poised, you're quiet, you're not loud, you don't like to be loud, you're going to attract people that are just put together that way, right? And if you're somebody that likes to talk really loud, you're going to attract chaotic people that talk really loud. So remember, I attract what I am. That is another affirmation that I want you to start speaking to yourself with this video as you listen to it. I attract what I am. If you are a money magnet, you attract money. If you are chaotic, you're going to attract chaotic friends. Sometimes we don't realize it ourselves. We might even be like peaceful people, but there's like an area of ourselves at the back of ourselves that we have not fixed, because we might come from families that are so chaotic that we have not fixed that. And then we're attracting chaotic friends, but then we don't realize, why am I attracting chaos in my life? I'm a good person. But it's because perhaps we had a terrible mother who was very chaotic, and we've not fixed that side of ourselves. And now we're attracting people like her because it is embedded on the inside of us, and we only attract that which we know, and that which we know is who we are. So I want you to become accustomed to knowing this, because once you know this, you're going to learn how to change yourself. And then once you change yourself, you're going to attract people that are the same as that thing that you're changing yourself into. So these are examples that have helped me find myself again. When I went through my friendship breakups, I tried things such as Pilates, I went golfing, I even went skydiving. And the reason I'm mentioning these things is because they are not little things like watching a movie that are going to make me feel better in that moment. They are little things that are going to change like moments of myself. You see, I used to be really scared of heights, but then when I started doing scary things like skydiving, it allowed me to kill that anxious and scared part of me about heights to a point that it changed my mind into thinking that I was a different person. And now I can literally like be on a skyscraper, like literally nothing strapped to me, and I won't be afraid because I've changed that side of myself by discovering that side of me. Sometimes it takes killing the thing that we're afraid of, or killing little things, and those things allow us to discover who we truly are. Because now I'm such an adventurous person that if I meet people that are not into taking risks, I'm like, oh, boo, you're boring. Like, I want to take risks. I need friends that are willing to take risks. But before that, I would have been comfortable with people that are just easy, and people that are used to living an easy life where they don't have to do too much. Okay, so I want you to try these things: Pilates, golfing, skydiving. If you're scared of that, maybe you could go zip lining. Even if it's just like taking a walk, and you're not used to like taking walks in your neighborhood at night, or like maybe like at 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. because you're scared of coming up across strangers and then they're gonna smile, and then you have to smile and say hello, good evening. Like, even if it's just doing something like that, it's going to help you come out of your comfort zone and really find something that you didn't realize but you really like about yourself. And it's going to help you get to that level of discovering yourself. And then I also want you to find your niche, what your style is, what you like to do with your face, the type of makeup that you like. To find content creators, maybe on TikTok or YouTube, that you see them having a similar story as yours, and I want you to follow them. But I don't want you to only follow them. I want you to watch them. Like, how do they dress? How do they carry themselves? These are little things that are going to help you realize that you were around the wrong company. And because you found people like this online, you can find people like that in real life too. The last thing that I want to mention under this point is, I want you to get comfortable being on your own. Be by yourself. Take yourselves out to restaurants. I do that. Literally, I will book a dinner table and I will go to a fancy restaurant. Sometime a few months ago, I booked a restaurant. It was like this fancy Italian restaurant in the city. I got dressed up. I got like my favorite bag and I went there and I greeted the waiters. They greeted me. They took me to a table. They sat me down and the waiter looked at me and said, "Are you waiting for someone?" And I said, "No, I'm just here by myself." And I could tell that they were so uncomfortable with that. But for me, I lived vicariously through my fantasies of the things that I would wish that I could do if I had a friend, that I was like, I don't have to wait for someone. I can do this by myself. The world is going to keep spinning whether I wait for someone or not. But I love myself so much that I want to treat myself to this because I deserve it. I shouldn't have to wait for a friend to do the things that I love because it's not a friend who makes me who I am. I am who I am because I am who I am, right? So you want to learn to love yourself, feel comfortable with yourself by doing the things that you love, because it is in finding comfort in yourself. When you meet other people, you're going to have strong boundaries to a point where you're not just going to allow anybody into your life. You see, I don't even allow anybody into my life anymore. That just comes with a bare minimum because I've treated myself so good. I'm like, if I can do this by myself, what's the point of you being in my life? Right? And it goes back to the first point that I mentioned about friendships. You never really know who your friends are until you've experienced the major things in your life, until you've found your truest self. And you don't find your truest self in the midst of people. You find your truest self in those times alone, when you're going through that depression by yourself, and then you have to learn how to put up with yourself. And you realize that you don't need someone to call you and say, "Look, I'm worried about you. You need to eat." But you have to force yourself to do that. Why? Because you're living for yourself. You have to find purpose in yourself, and that starts by loving yourself. You can't love yourself unless you tolerate yourself, and you cannot tolerate yourself until you've learned to really sit with yourself in the quietness. Okay, so I want you to learn to spend time with yourself. Seriously, you really need to do that. Remember, friendship breakups are a part of life. It's something that happens with everybody. Don't let the media fool you into thinking that you're missing out. Trust me, a lot of successful people in this life have made it because they've gone alone. There is a saying that says, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with somebody. I disagree with this because as a Christian, I believe that I'm never alone. I always have God. So if I want to go fast, I have to do things by myself. Why? Because I have the angels of God guiding me and walking with me. So in the midst of going fast and I happen to fall down, I will still manage to go fast and far because they're going to pick me up. So I want you to remember, it's a normal part of life. But in the midst of this, maintain your poise and posture, energy, by maintaining your quietness. Pray in the midst of this. I want you to not only pray, I want you to speak affirmations into your life. And I want you to just live vicariously through yourself, not through others. So, my loves, that's all I have for you today, Queens. I'm so excited to share other topics with you. I'm not only going to talk about friendships, like I mentioned in my previous videos, I will be talking about money and other things that are going to help you level up into the best version of yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you can level up into the best person you can become. And I'm going to help you do that, okay? So thank you so much for watching. I will see you, Queens, next time. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I love you. Bye.